Good morning and welcome to Foundations and Frontiers 2025. And what a place to kick things off. I'm standing here on the home court of the Queensland Firebirds, who are one of the most successful netball teams in Australia. And this place has seen its fair share of fierce contests, of comebacks, of wins and losses. And as someone who grew up playing netball, yes, I was the short but fast centre who got outgrown by her friends by the time she was 13. I know what it's like to train hard and to play as part of a team. And today we're going to do things different. This isn't just a forum, we're going to use this environment to work as a team, to get match fit, to try and change this great industry that we love. So FF25 is brought to you by the Australian Constructors Association, and I'm proud to be in my third year as president of that association. And true to the ACA spirit, we're going to try and shake things up today. We're not going to just talk about change, we're actually trying to use this room to bring it into effect today. So last year at FF24, for those that were here, we had 75 of our industry leaders signed a landmark communique where we committed to improving the health of our industry and improving performance. And that was a powerful statement. So 12 months on, how are we tracking against those commitments? Well, the National Construction Strategy is off and running, and we're going to hear a bit more about that today from John Davies and some of our government representatives. The Culture Standard has hit a major milestone, and it was actually launched last night by the formidable Gabrielle Traynor. And this represents, I think it's 7 years of collaboration across industry with unions, governments and contractors. And the national blueprint is off the starting blocks. Again, it shows that we're all moving in the right direction. But before we start high-fiving each other, let's be honest, we haven't yet achieved goal. We have made progress, yes, but have we achieved consistency? Not yet. We are still warming up. We're still seeing way too many of our own goals. We've still got players standing on the sideline. We're still getting injuries. In fact, those injuries are increasing by the day, and we're still just not delivering projects on time, and we're not hitting the mark. So across Australia, we're seeing some home truths. Now in Australia, it is the most expensive place in the world to build infrastructure, and tunnelled metro unit costs are now nearing $2 million per metre, which is 5 times the cost of the UK. And we're also seeing indirect costs on projects continue to increase, and the number of people on our projects continue to increase. But overlaying over that is the fact that many of our states have affordability challenges, which is just exacerbating those problems. But you know what the most worrying part about all of those statistics is? We're beginning to accept that. We think it is normal, and in fact, we're actually building our business cases around those eventualities. But it doesn't have to be that way. So when government, unions and contractors work together towards a shared vision, we actually build smarter, we build faster, and we actually remove waste. We successfully build things like the Olympics, which really is the biggest representation of communities coming together to build something amazing. And that's why today is about moving from me to we. And our speakers today have been asked to speak candidly and not just say what they need from this room, but turn up and tell us what they're going to offer to the change. We've added new formats, we've tried to mix things up and change the stale conversations. And we've worked really hard to make sure that in this room today, you've got representatives from all over the industry, from unions to subcontractors to consultants. Just like a netball team, every position counts and every voice counts. So the Olympics and Paralympics are creating absolute urgency here in Queensland, but it is a national problem. The pandemic showed us that when we need to, we can actually move at pace, and 2032 will show us that we'll have to do that again. So Queensland has a chance to lead, but every state has a role to play in that. And so the eyes of the nation are really on Queensland to see how we deliver on that objective. And how fortunate we are to have with us today Sir David Higgins, who successfully led the delivery of the London Olympics. And he's going to talk to us today about how he developed a championship team that really successfully delivered those Olympics. And he'll be followed by Stephen Conroy, who's the chair of GICA. And he's going to share with us how Queensland plans to deliver the Games and how he's going to use that as impetus to raise the bar for the industry in general. So construction has a chance to move from being the problem to being a trusted advisor that builds a legacy for all of society. So here's the call from me today. Let's stop standing from the sidelines and start acting as one team, because we can build, it's not just about building better infrastructure, it's actually about creating a legacy for everyone in Australia. It's about building faster, about building fairer together. It's about building more for less. It's about moving from me to we. It's about putting productivity onto the stadium. So let's get this construction industry that we love off the starting blocks. And now let the play begin. Thank you.